I hope you all are still doing well in quarantine. This video is part 2 of the 40 things that I am grateful for, which I heard about from Beth Ann from the channel #Catholic. So definitely check out her video. And if you haven't watched my part 1 to this video, definitely watch that before you watch this one. Okay, so let's get started with the 40 things that I'm grateful for. I left off on number 25 last week. So for number 26, I am grateful for both healthcare workers and modern medicine. Healthcare workers right now are sacrificing their own safety, their family's safety, so that they can be there to save others. It's so beautiful. I've seen some healthcare workers that are quarantining themselves from their families. So, you know, a lot of us are lucky to be quarantined with our loved ones, but they're completely alone, just working and coming home alone and being separated from their spouses, their children, relatives. Healthcare workers have also been giving the ultimate sacrifice, you know, to lay down your life for a friend. I read a beautiful story about a nurse who has left behind 2 children and her husband. She was working in New York with COVID-19 patients, and it's just so heartbreaking that she had to leave. I know God's ways are not our own ways, but my heart still breaks for those children that don't have their mother. They'll always know that their mother gave her life for others, and she was a public servant. So I'm so grateful for healthcare workers, also modern medicine, that we have ventilators to treat COVID-19 patients, and also vaccines. You know, there are so many vaccines that are being developed and tested for COVID-19, and that just brings to mind all the good that vaccines have done for our world. Smallpox, for example, was eradicated by the vaccine. Vaccines have mostly eliminated polio, pertussis, tetanus, so many more that I am not mentioning right now, but I don't want, to get into a anti-vax debate with anyone, but you know, it's a whole spectrum, you know, between anti-vax and just vaccine hesitant. And if you're on that spectrum somewhere, I'll link below a very thorough article by a physician that just has a ton of information. If you have any concern about vaccines, you can just scroll down to your concern and see the information for that particular concern. But again, I don't want to debate about vaccines with anybody. So if you try to do that with me in the comments, I just won't engage. Anyway, I am so grateful for both healthcare workers and modern medicine. You know, I shared on my channel about my recent very positive experience with my laparoscopy, you know, getting diagnosed and finding the answer to my ailments was amazing. So you can check out that video about my laparoscopy experience for endometriosis. I can go on and on about medicine, but I'm not a medical professional, but I am just very grateful for both healthcare workers, vaccines, and modern medicine. I'm also very grateful for delivery drivers. My husband got some items from work. We got some face masks that we ordered, and every time we receive a package, I'm just so grateful for delivery drivers. I actually got a package recently that I wasn't expecting from Amazon, and it was addressed to me. And my husband was like, "What did you order?" And it stressed me out so much because I'm not a shopper. And I thought, oh my gosh, did I order something, you know, half asleep, something I didn't need? This is so irresponsible of me. But it was actually a dear friend of mine sent me a gift, and that was just so unexpected and sweet. So grateful for delivery drivers. I'm also grateful for grocery pickup. I know a lot of the moms on YouTube were talking about Walmart pickup and how convenient it is, and I'd never taken advantage of it before because I had this extra time on my hands, and I was working near an Aldi, and I love Aldi. There are so many inexpensive, high quality products there, but Aldi doesn't carry everything we need, so I would go to a different store. Also Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's, but there are a lot of things that we need that aren't at Trader Joe's. So I just go to Trader Joe's for a few things. Anyway, so I always would shop around. But during this pandemic, my husband and I are so grateful for grocery pickup that we can just put in our order online and limit contact with others by just picking up the groceries and not having to go in the store. I'm also grateful for my husband's cooking skills. So I have been cooking during this pandemic, but I need a recipe to cook, whereas my husband can just kind of throw things together with whatever we have. So recently he made this beef bean mixture and it was really good. And I just love that he has that skill, that he's able to just throw things together without a recipe. I have been cooking though. I made a couple cottage pies. I love a classic beef cottage pie. I made Heather from A Catholic Mom's Life, I made her salmon. I will link that playlist below for meatless recipes if you're interested. The salmon was really good. I made arepas, I made banana and pumpkin bread. I put raisins in my pumpkin bread for the first time. It was so good. I love pumpkin and cloves and cinnamon, those fall flavors year round. And talking about cooking just leads me right into food. I am so grateful for food. I really feel for anyone who is food insecure. I'm so blessed that we always have food. And lately I've been craving super simple things like apples and cheese. And I'm just so grateful that we can always have apples and cheese. And I know I'm very, very blessed. I'm also grateful for my washer and dryer. I'm so blessed to have my own washer and dryer. Whenever my husband and I have to go out, very rarely, when we come back, we can easily wash our clothes that have been out in our washer and dryer. I think I only lived a couple years, like in the dorms and college life, where I didn't have my own washer and dryer. And that was fun at the time because, I could do my laundry with my friends. But, going to the laundromat is just not my favorite, especially during a pandemic. I feel very blessed to have a washer and dryer at home. Speaking of washing, I am very grateful that COVID-19 is easily killed by soap and water. I'm so glad that we don't have to go out and, make some concoction of bleach or whatever. Just soap and water on our countertops or wherever will kill COVID-19. I even got a newsletter from my HOA today about reopening the pool. They're not going to reopen the pool anytime soon, but when they're able to, they talked about how chlorine kills COVID-19, which is amazing. I doubt my husband and I are going to be going in any pools anytime soon, but I'm just grateful that COVID-19 is easily killed. So I've been hearing a lot of really sad stories about people who are very overwhelmed by this pandemic and their mental health is in danger. Some of these stories are so heartbreaking. So I encourage you, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you're feeling overwhelmed, please seek help. And I'm so grateful for BetterHelp. You can receive counseling online from the comfort of your own home. And I heard about BetterHelp from The Office Ladies, a podcast that I love. Anyway, I encourage you to please speak with a licensed professional, especially if you have any anxiety, depression, or just feeling overwhelmed. When you take care of yourself, your mental health, you benefit the most when you take care of yourself and your children. Oh my goodness, if you have children, please take care of your mental health. I beg you. And you can start this journey to better mental health from the comfort of your own home with BetterHelp. I'm also grateful for Formed. I love Formed. I've been talking about Formed for years on my channel, and I would love to share my parish's login info, but I know that my parish, asks that the login info is only given to parishioners. So on my channel, I always say, call your local parish and get their login info. Most parishes have a subscription to Formed, and there's so much great content on Formed. Well, during this pandemic, Formed is free, so anyone can just log on there and check out what they have. So if you're not a Catholic and you're interested, I highly recommend Formed. You will love it. Check it out. I am also grateful for The Chosen. I heard about The Chosen from Laura, from What Laura Likes, In my last video, I talked about how some of the YouTubers got together in a Zoom meeting, and she told us about The Chosen, and I hadn't heard about it. And she recommended the app, and the app shows you how to cast it to your TV. And then I saw Father Goring recommended YouTube. So all of The Chosen is on YouTube for free. I did notice on the app, the quality is a little better, but the YouTube version is also fine. Anyway, The Chosen is the first ever multi-season series about the life of Christ. I love it. I'm 3 episodes in. I would have binged the whole thing by now, but I wait for my husband to be free because I like to watch it with him. The director is an evangelical Christian, but he also has a board of people that he consults with for everything so that everything is accurate. That board includes a Protestant biblical scholar, a Catholic priest, and a Jewish rabbi. And they are presenting the Gospels as they are in the Bible with some creative expression. So they're not teaching or promoting any specific church tradition. So any Christian will certainly love this series, but even if you're not a Christian, just watching this show from a historical perspective, because these were real people that lived, is awesome. So I highly recommend The Chosen. Everyone should check it out. Season 1 is free. I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. Speaking of media, I'm also grateful for YouTube. Of course, YouTube has been great during this pandemic. I hope you are enjoying all of the Catholic YouTubers throughout this pandemic. One video that I recently really loved was Father Casey's video. It was called, "Is Our Freedom Being Taken Away?" And his channel is called Breaking in the Habit. And I loved his video because he covered a lot of the protests, and he covered it better than I could, but he basically said, in keeping with Christian values, individual rights do not trump the common good. You know, the common good, the health of the people is more important than, you know, your ability to go to a concert or something. He explained it much better. I really appreciated his video and covering these protests that I personally didn't want to talk about on my channel. So I'll link his video below. And I just loved all that he had to say. And, you know, he said he hoped that there was no Catholic in any of those protests, and I hope so too. Anyway, check out his channel. Speaking of YouTube, I am also very grateful for the feature on YouTube that you can watch a video at twice the playback speed. I love this feature. Just go on the right side of your video and you'll see either a little gear icon or 3 dots, depending on whether you're on a computer or your phone, and you can adjust the playback speed. I watch most YouTube videos at twice the playback speed, and I love it because I can get that information faster. The only time I really watch a video at normal speed is if I'm multitasking, if I'm washing dishes or something, because if I play it back double the speed, since my mind is split between 2 things, I'll often have to rewind because I didn't hear something. But if I'm just watching a video and not multitasking, I love to watch something at twice the speed. You get the information faster, and it's a great way to watch YouTube but not let it take up too much of your time. And if I have to check something on one of my own videos, I love that feature because I actually speak really slow on YouTube and it bothers me so much. I'm pretty sure I speak faster in person because I don't care if I stumble over my words, I can just repeat myself, but I want you all to understand what I'm saying. I want to speak in complete sentences, so I do slow down when I make YouTube videos, and I don't like how slowly I speak. So I highly recommend watching my videos on double the playback speed. And if you watch a YouTuber that already speaks pretty quickly, there are different increments and you can just speed them up a little bit. So that's also an option. I'm also grateful for books. I have so many great books that I get to read during this pandemic. I hope to share about them on my channel. I'm also grateful for all of God's blessings. And I know I just shared about a bunch of God's blessings, but my husband and I have been very, very blessed during this pandemic. We chuckle because 2020 is a good year for us, but terrible for the world. I don't want this video to be too long, but I can share one blessing in particular. My husband lost his grandmother's wedding ring. And my husband and I, we're not really into jewelry or anything, but that wedding ring was engraved with his grandfather's name and their wedding date from 1940. And, so it was sentimental. Like my wedding set was my grandmother's. So that's why I love it so much. So he had lost it, been looking for it for years. He asked if I had it. I looked in all my jewelry and I didn't see it. But recently, because we're moving, I was packing and I looked through my jewelry again, and I don't know how I missed it. I feel bad that I missed it before, but I found it with my other gold rings. And I felt so bad that I didn't find it earlier because I know since I had it with my rings, it means that he had asked me before to hold on to it for him. And I thought, oh, let me put it in a safe place with my other gold rings. But anyway, I am so glad that it is found. It just made my husband's year to find that ring. And that is just one of many blessings that we've received this year. So we are so grateful for God's blessings. And finally, I am so grateful for Jesus's divine, perfect love. I know it's a simple message, but Jesus loves you. It's a simple children's song that you learn when you're a kid, but it's so true. Jesus loves you so much. If you don't know that, I encourage you to talk to Jesus, pray to Jesus, read about Jesus's divine mercy, read Jesus's perfect love. I sincerely hope that all of you watching my channel knows how much Jesus loves you. And I hope to share about this book soon on my channel. The author Lawrence Jackos sent me this book, and I'm so grateful to him for sending me this beautiful book. Anyway, those are my 40 things that I am so grateful for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the others who have created their videos about the 40 things that they're grateful for. And if you want to make a list of 40 things that you're grateful for, I would love to watch it on YouTube, or you can share it on any social media platform. You could share it on Instagram, maybe share 5 a day. It's always beautiful to count our blessings and to reflect on all of God's blessings. So I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you. Until next time, bye.